Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Krista. In today's video, I'm going to show you the different meals and stuff that I make. So the first recipe that I'm going to share with you is a low-carb biscuit with eggs. And we've always liked biscuits and gravy, pancakes, different stuff like that. So trying to find something that's a healthier alternative of that. So we found these biscuits, this recipe. It uses almond flour and it turned out really good. I'll show you the texture of it. It's like very crumbly and flaky, like a good biscuit, and I would definitely recommend this recipe. So let me know if you try it. We wanted to make some low-carb biscuits, so we found this recipe, and we just took a cup of almond flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and then added a pinch of salt, and whisked that together. And then in a liquid measuring cup, I just took an egg and a 1/4 cup of sour cream and mixed that together with a whisk. And then I created a well in the almond flour and poured the sour cream egg mixture into the bowl and just mixed it together using a rubber spatula. And now I'm just taking a spoon and the rubber spatula and making the biscuits. It's kind of like a drop biscuit, so you don't want to like flatten it or anything. Here I'm just shaping it with the spoon. And I bake these at 350 for 15 to 17 minutes. Now I'm going to work on frying some eggs. I did some over easy eggs, which is like where the yolk is still like runny. And then we also had some strips of bacon that we just put on a cookie sheet and baked in the oven until it was crispy. I love how these biscuits turned out. Look how flaky and soft they are. They taste amazing with a little bit of butter on them. I'm going to have a draw with me coming up soon, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. I can also do some digital paintings as well. Let me know what you'd like to see in the comments down below. I can't wait for it to get warm out and like all the flowers are blooming and the birds are chirping and everything. The daylight savings time is March 9th, so we only have about a month to go. So I'm just trying to hang in there and try to focus on like the positive stuff. Like I definitely struggle with SAD, like seasonal affective disorder. And I feel like doing things like drawing and even going outside, even though it's cold, just bundling up, doing things like that, like really help. Kind of focusing on my hobbies and my passions, keep moving my body, because I feel like the more I sit, the worse I feel. So, do you deal with something like that? Let me know. But I feel like it's something that a lot of people struggle with. I feel like in the summer and the spring that it's easier to kind of do things because you have all the vitamin D from the sun and everything. So we're just going to take a walk around the yard. We did a garden last year. We did veggies and flowers and things. So we're trying to kind of plan what we want to do for our garden. We like to do like a lot of different flowers like zinnia, sunflowers, and a bunch of things. We're going to end up getting our seeds soon. What are your favorite kinds of flowers and plants? Let me know in the comments down below. We're going to do tomatoes and cucumbers, zucchini, pumpkins, some different melons and stuff. We're going to do a strawberry patch, which if you know me, I absolutely love strawberries. They're absolutely the best when you grow them yourself or you get them locally, like during like May and June, like their peak time. They're so good. It's crazy that it's February and we already have dandelions in our yard. We're kind of looking at our garden. This is our pumpkin patch. You can kind of see the pumpkins in there. We're actually going to be cleaning our garden and our yard and stuff soon as it starts to get warmer out. I'm really excited for this garden season. As we were walking toward the back of our yard, we could see a hawk flying. I filmed this a couple days ago and we still had some snow on the ground. Obviously the snow is like melted by now, but they say we're supposed to get more. We already have buds on our maple trees, and then we were walking and we seen this squirrel in the tree. It looked like he had one of his nuts that he dug up from the yard. We have a bunch of walnuts because we have a walnut tree in our yard, and you actually see the squirrels digging them out of the ground where they store them for the winter, which is pretty cool to see. And here's our holly bush. I'm really excited for the spring when everything starts growing and blooming, and it's just so beautiful. As we were walking, we seen a downy woodpecker in our tree. We always have them because we put suet out, and I always love seeing the birds, hearing them sing and stuff. There was an overcast the day I filmed this, but I think it's really pretty the way the light's peeking through the clouds. So for dinner, this is a fairly new recipe for us. I've had caprese before, but this is a caprese balsamic chicken, and it's super simple. It's really good, and you start cooking it in the skillet and then you end up putting it in the stove and it melts everything together perfectly. I started this meal by cutting 4 zucchini into slices. And then I just cut up the sweet onion. Let me tell you, for being a sweet onion, it was a little spicy. My eyes were like watering, like I had like tears in my eyes because it was so strong. It was definitely misleading. And I just stored the veggies in a Ziploc bag. You could also do this as like a marinade. You can add olive oil and seasonings, kind of shake it up. And now I'm going to take a couple broccoli crowns, cut it into small pieces. I usually like my food cut up pretty small, like veggies, or I cut up my chicken into small pieces. How do you like to eat your food? Do you like kind of bigger chunks of food, or do you like smaller chunks of food? Let me know in the comments down below. Now we're gonna work on the caprese chicken. So I'm starting by taking some olive oil and drizzling it in a pan, letting it heat up, and then I'm adding 4 chicken breasts and letting them cook. And while that's cooking, I'm gonna start working on my veggies. So I'm just taking some olive oil in a pan, and I'm gonna pour my veggies in there, and I'm gonna take the blend by Kinder's and sprinkle it on the veggies. Once the chicken breasts are up to temperature, at least 165, we're gonna go ahead and remove them and set them on a plate. Now we're gonna work on the marinade for the chicken. We're gonna take some butter and a little bit of this balsamic vinaigrette and cook it until it starts boiling, and then you're gonna add the chicken back to the pan. Now we're going to put the pan in the oven. You want to make sure you have an oven-safe skillet when you do this, but you're going to put it in the oven at 375 for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now I'm just adding some thinly sliced tomato to the top of the chicken, and I'm adding some shredded mozzarella, and then we're going to stick the pan back in the oven until the cheese is melted. Now we're gonna plate our dinner. I usually don't measure veggies, obviously maybe a cup and a half. And then we took one of the chicken breast, put it in the pan, and drizzled some of the balsamic glaze over top. It was so delicious, and I definitely want to make it again. And for dessert, we had a low-carb cheesecake. It was like a chocolate-covered strawberry one. I thought this would be a good video to share since it's since it's so close to Valentine's Day. It's like the chocolate-covered strawberry thing, and it also just tastes delicious. And the crust kind of reminds you a little bit of like between a graham cracker crust and shortbread cookie. I think it's a really good recipe, and I kind of make it similar to the peanut butter protein cheesecake dip that I make that I ate with apples. I'll have to link that video in the description so you can check that out as well. So I'm going to start the cheesecake by taking some strawberries. I'd say it's probably about a pack of them. And I'm just dicing the strawberries. And I'm gonna set them aside while I work on the rest of the cheesecake. I'm gonna start by making the whipped cream for the cheesecake. So I'm just taking some heavy cream, I did a cup, and I'm gonna keep mixing it with the hand mixer until it forms stiff peaks. In a separate bowl, I'm gonna do a block of cream cheese and a half cup of sugar-free confectioner sugar, like this sugar substitute, and 2 scoops of vanilla protein powder, and a container of yogurt, like the ones that you get like in a 4-pack. I would get the sugar-free. I either do Okos or Too Good. And then I just added a splash of vanilla. I always measure vanilla and seasonings with my heart. Now I'm gonna fold the whipped cream into the cream cheese mixture using a rubber spatula. I'm gonna work on the crust now, so I'm taking 1 cup of almond flour, a tablespoon of the powdered sugar substitute, and a 1/4 stick of butter. You can also use gluten-free graham crackers, or you could do low-carb cookies, or you could do without a crust. I have 4 bowls here. I ended up making 4 servings, but for me, I feel like 8 servings is a better amount. It just depends on how much cheesecake you want to eat. I let the crust and the cheesecake mixture chill in the fridge for about 15 minutes. And then I just divided the cheesecake mixture between the bowls. And for toppings, I just sprinkled on the strawberries and some sugar-free chocolate chips, but feel free to use any toppings that you would like. And then I just put plastic wrap on them and stored them in the fridge until I was ready for dessert. We ended up making this cheesecake again, so I wanted to show you a different view because this is like very aesthetically pleasing and just pretty. I wanted to include these pictures of the sky because it was so beautiful. Most nights it's like kind of pink and orange and it's like very vibrant. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Which part was your favorite and what recipes would you like me to try? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one.